Hello, everyone. I am Rachel from mercifulmornings.com, and on this channel, you will find the education, encouragement, and support that you need for online teaching and daily life. Today, we are back in Canva. I have had so many questions about how to create resources for teaching online lately. And you know, if you've seen any of my other videos, I love Canva. I love it. And so I am using Loom to record back in Canva today. And the thing we're going to talk about today is how to create printables, how to make worksheets, how to make things, resources that you can give to the students that they can print at home. And the very, very cool thing about Canva is instead of just pulling up a Word document and starting from scratch and putting in all the little lines and things that you need, Canva actually has worksheet templates, and they're even grouped by subject. So I want to show you some of that today, and we're going to go through and just kind of play around and show you some of the tools that are within Canva to help you make the worksheets that you need for your online classes, or even if you're a brick and mortar teacher. This is a really great resource to make your own printables, worksheets, handouts for your classroom. So hopefully this will be helpful for all teachers everywhere. We're going to get right into it. Be sure, if you haven't already, that you subscribe to this channel, and also be sure that you hit that bell so that you are notified when these videos come up so you don't miss any of this information. All right, we're going to jump into Canva. I'm going to make myself a little bit smaller down here. Ta-da! Here we are. All right, we are in Canva. I'm going to move over here because most of what we will use will be on the other side of the screen. So, design anything, literally anything you want. When I click in here, you can tell I've done worksheets because it popped up, and I've made bingo games. You can tell what pops up, what I've been working on. So if I just type in worksheet, even if I'm not specific about the subject that I want, you will see there is a regular worksheet. It's 8.5 by 11 automatically. You can get it in landscape if you want it to print that way. There's social studies, English, math. So you can click on any of these. I'm just going to pick a good old worksheet and see what pops up. And when it pulls this up, you're going to see a lot of different templates come up to choose from. And it may be that you automatically see something that you're like, yes, that's what I had in mind. That's what I want. So maybe, look here, if we want to practice long, longer, and longest, they've already made one for you. You can actually just use what's already in here if it fits the lesson that you're doing. But if you decide that you want to create your own version of something and the format matches what you're needing to do, that's awesome. This one over here, this art around the world, it's intended for art, but it's already laid out with questions and lines. So if you were doing reading and doing comprehension questions, maybe that's one you'd want to pick and then rearrange the format a little bit. I'm going to come on over here to candy jars. Maybe I'm going to do a math lesson with counting. So I'm going to click on that one, and it's going to pop it up for me with all of the different options of how I can customize it for my lesson. We're waiting. Here it comes. Okay, so this is the template I've chosen. I'm going to make a math worksheet. Now you'll see it's like itty bitty and hard to work on when it's like this, but there is a percentage down here at the bottom. And if I click on that, it allows me to zoom in a little closer. So say I put it at about 75%. That's going to make everything a whole lot bigger. I can rearrange all these goodies however I want. I'm going to close this because I've already selected my worksheet. But you can see there are math worksheets, English, social studies. You can go through and pick whatever kind you want. So here's the one I've selected. Now, if you are in a regular brick and mortar classroom, you may need the name, the teacher, the date, grade, section, all those things, and you can customize this text. Maybe I don't need grade in section. Maybe I need seat number, right? Sometimes in the class they'll have a seat number. So I can select all this text, get rid of it, and type in whatever I want here. So maybe I want seat number, okay? Or maybe if I'm an online teacher, I don't need this at all. I can click and drag across all of this and come up here and delete it. I actually actually don't need any of that for what I'm doing. So I can change my title up here, and maybe today I just want to be counting candy. Okay, we're counting candy. Nothing simple. I'm going to put it on all caps. Counting candy. Now, this font's kind of funky. I don't love it. So maybe I come up here, it says Jingleberry. That sounds like a fun font. I'm going to pick something a little bit different. I am still obviously doing younger ages, so maybe I'll come down to this. I like this Atma medium. I don't know if that's how you say it, but I like it and I use it quite a bit. So maybe I like that one. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, counting candy. That looks great. All right, I don't really need these directions, but let's see. For this one, they're doing more candy. If we're counting the candy, we're going to say, write the number of, ooh, I'm all in capital letters again, you guys. That was not good. Let's get rid of that. Write the number of candies in each jar. That's it. Those are my directions. And I can move this wherever I want to, or if I want it to be bigger, I can adjust the size up here so that they can read it a little more clearly. Center it. Look how nice that looks. All right, and now I've got all these jars of candy. I want to move these up a little bit, and then I can add in a line underneath where they can write the number. So I'm just literally playing around, making a little fun thing so you can see the different ways to add things. If I wanted to go into photos, if I wanted a picture of candy on here somewhere, I could go in here and type in candy, and that would pop up. Let's just see what comes up if we type in candy. Ooh, beer. That might not be appropriate for but look how cute that is, you guys. Okay, if you're doing an online class, especially if you teach for out school, these are super cute images to do for your class image. Just throwing that out there. But look at all these cute things for candy. Oh my goodness, I love it so much. Okay, elements. Same thing. I could come in here and type in candy. That's probably where they got the images that are in all these jars. So if you wanted it to be colorful, you could come in here and change out what the candy looks like. A lot of times when you're doing printable worksheets for your students, they do appreciate them being in black and white because they're easier to print. They use less ink. So if I wanted to do a different shape of candy, or if I want it to be colorful, I have all these different options. Candy canes, maybe you want it to be Christmas themed. So there's a lot of different choices in here. I love these so much. I'm going to stick with what I've got for now just because it's easy. And I want to change this. I'm going to come up here and you see how there's lines right here? There are a lot of different lines that I could choose from to put under my candy jars for when they do count the candy. But I think I'm just going to pick a plain old boring line. And look, it's free. If you have the free version, you would be able to use this. I'm going to change it to black so that it's easy to see. And I'm going to shrink it way down. I just grab the dot at the corner, shrink it down, and I'm going to move it over here under my candy jar. Right there. Okay, yep, that's where I want it. Now, I want to do this under all of my candy jars. So I'm going to come up here to duplicate while I'm still selected on that line. And it's going to let me line it up right there. Ta-da! I can do this on all of them. I select all my candy jars. I lift them up. There they go. Same thing. Click on my line. Duplicate it. Bring it over. It's going to show me how it's lined up there. Isn't that nice? Same thing. Duplicate it. Do you see how easy this is? I am very quickly and easily creating a worksheet where my students can come in, count the candies. You could also write in your instructions to color the candies in the jar if you want them to make it colorful. But now they're going to go through and count. They're going to write down the number, and I could move. Oh, yeah, I do want that. This is all grouped together. So I can move that whole jar up if it's in my way. Boom. Now, another thing I was going to show you, when I clicked on that candy just now, do you see how the candy is selected, the jar is selected? It's grouped together. Whoever made this before grouped all of these images together. So you can click on ungroup. If I wanted a different type of candy in this jar, I would click ungroup. Now look, every single thing is highlighted in there. So if I wanted a different candy, or if I wanted less pieces of candy, I click one, I delete it. Or if I want to change the color, I click it. You see up here, it's all this black. I could click here and I could make it a very bright blue. Click this one, make it a bright blue, and now I've got a blue candy. So you can customize this to however, if you want it all colorful, go for it. And if I don't like what I just did there, I come up here to this little back arrow. That's undo. You can also do Control-Z. A lot of people like to do the shortcuts. Undo that, no more blue. Now it's just black. Okay, so I would come down and I would do the exact same thing on the bottom part. I would add my lines underneath so that they can do this. Let's just do it real quick, because that way you can see we'll zoom back out. I'm going to duplicate that. Boom, there it goes. Duplicate it again. I only need 2 more after this, because this way you can see, we'll zoom out and you can see what the entire worksheet looks like. And we just made this. We just made this worksheet together. Aren't you proud of us? You should be. You should be proud of us. All right. If I wanted to change the color of anything, obviously color's up here. If I wanted a background, there's just so many options. So I'm going to come back down here where I clicked the zoom option earlier. Instead of 75, let's come out to 50. There's our worksheet. We just made that. Now, up here, you can download this from here, and it'll give you options. PDF print is what I would suggest you do, because then you can save it on your computer as a PDF. You can then, if you are teaching online, upload it to whatever platform you're teaching on. If you're with OutSchool, you can upload it onto the classroom in a message. You can send it directly privately to students. You have lots of options. If I wanted multiple worksheets in this, all I would have to do up here is add a new page. If I wanted multiple pages like this, I could click duplicate page, and then you tweak the second page so that it's not exactly the same. It's going to, see, I've got a second page now. Right now it's exactly the same, but I can adjust this so that the number of candies in each jar are different. They've got 2 pages where they're practicing more and doing different numbers depending on what you're working on. So that's just one very quick example of how to make your own worksheet in Canva. You have so many color options, picture options, format options. Pick a template that looks like what you have in mind and just go to town. Pick your fonts, pick your pictures, go crazy. That is it for today. If this was helpful for you, be sure you like it and share it with anyone else who it might be helpful for. I love coming in and doing these tutorial videos. It's stuff that I do on a regular basis for my classes, and it's very helpful for me as a teacher. And so whenever I am asked, how do you make that? Where did you get that? I love to be able to say, this is it. You can do it. With Canva, there is a free version that you can use, just canva.com. There's also an app for your phone. If you want to go pro and have a lot more options as far as fonts and images and things that you can use, I do have a link below where you can get a pro account. It is an affiliate link. I get a little bit of a percentage, but I only promote the things that I love. So that's why it's there for you. If you are interested in teaching online, if this sounds like fun to you, be sure you email me, mercifulmornings@gmail.com. I do teach for 2 online companies, and I love it. And I love to help others apply, create their curriculum, and really get going so that you can make money from home in pajama pants. It's my favorite. That's it for today, guys. I hope you have an amazing day. Remember, there is always hope. So choose joy. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.